Hello, ghouls and ghoulies. Welcome to Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. I'm your host, Larry Lee Roten. This is a scary tale, and I know it's true. I was one of the brothers who was there. This story is called The House of Death. Years ago, my brother and I embarked on an unexpected adventure that would linger in our memories forever. While driving through the countryside, we passed an old Victorian house. Drawn by curiosity, we decided to stop and check it out. After all, it looked empty and, by all appearances, abandoned. As soon as we stepped out of our car, an unsettling sensation enveloped us. It was as if an unseen presence was observing our every move, an ominous energy that sent chills down our spines. The outside of the house painted a grim picture of neglect. The once vibrant paint had peeled away, revealing the weathered wood beneath. The windows, like empty eyes, stared blankly at us, their glass cracked and clouded with age. The yards surrounding the house were a tangled mess of overgrown vegetation. Weeds and age old shrubs competed fiercely for space and sunlight. The larger shrubs cast shadows over the smaller plants, yet somehow, amidst the chaos, life persisted. The scene was a testament of nature's relentless will to survive, even in the most inhospitable conditions. The old house stood erect and appeared to be a long standing reminder of Victorian architecture. Its intricate construction and gingerbread trim was still intact. Although the paint was peeling from years of neglect, the once brilliant colors that adorned the house were disappearing, giving way to years of neglect. However, the old house stood proud, denying nature's relentless attacks on its exterior. Over the years, the old structure refused to fall into ruin. We were in awe of why anyone would let such an impressive old home sit empty. At one time, it must have been the pride and joy of its owners. The three-story house was large and impressive. Its cone-shaped towers and magnificent decorative trim still boasted the Victorian age. Why was this old house abandoned? As we speculated about the house's exterior, an old woman stepped out of the thick growth and stood staring at us. Her hair was long, gray, and unkempt, and her face showed many miles of torment and anguish. I smiled and started to speak when she asked, "What are you doing here?" I explained that we were just admiring the old place. "It's such a lovely old house," I said. "At one time," she said softly, "it was." I couldn't keep from asking, "Do you own this property?" She didn't smile but answered my question. "Yes, I do." I apologized for trespassing and told her I just had to take a closer look. It was like the old home called to me. I smiled at the old woman, hoping she would understand. To my surprise, a smile crept across the woman's face. "This house does that," she said. "It wanted you here." She stepped closer to me and my brother. "Would you like to see the inside?" I said I would, and she motioned for us to follow her toward the back of the house. She opened the back door, allowing us access to the house. I was in awe. The kitchen, still intact, had dusty dishes, glasses, and cooking utensils scattered about. It appeared as if we had taken a step back in time. The house's first floor wasn't empty. The rooms had furniture, rugs, and lamps sitting where they had been placed years ago. However, everything was dusty and piled with magazines and old papers. Evidently, someone had just locked the doors and never returned. "At one time this home was lovely," said the old woman. "I'm sure it was," I said. I don't come over here much, said the woman, pointing to a small lamp. I have to keep that lamp on all the time. I can never cut it off. I noticed a lamp on a table facing the front window. It glowed softly, and the sun's rays surrounded the muted glow, trying to help it light the room. From the outside, I hadn't noticed it. I wondered why the old place still had the power on. So why do you have to keep the light on? I asked. My curiosity was getting the better of me. This house is haunted, she said. There's an evil in this house, and it never rests. If you stay for any amount of time, it will come for you. I think it draws energy from the living. She walked slowly toward the staircase. My father and mother lived here over 90 years ago. They built this house just after I was born. She inhaled softly. My mother and brother killed my father. I was shocked. I'm so sorry, I said. The old woman seemed to be in a trance as she gazed upon the old home's living room. While my father slept, my mother and brother crept into his room and stabbed him multiple times. The blood still stains his mattress and the walls. I never go into that room. I keep it locked. It's been closed for years. I dare not open the door. My brother was taken away, and I haven't seen him since. I was too young to remember anything about him. He told the authorities that my mother was innocent, and he took the blame. However, my mother told me years later that she and my brother both killed my father. The old woman sighed. Afterward, we lived here until this house drove my mother crazy. The ghost of my father drove her insane. After that, it was my responsibility to care for her until she died. The old woman stood at the bottom of the stairs and looked toward the second floor. My father's bedroom is up there. I never go up these steps. I'm so sorry, I said. You see, the old woman said, at night, if that light over there isn't on, you can hear my father screaming as my mother and brother took his life. It's so frightening. Before we moved out, you could hear him moving about, looking for revenge, and now he takes his revenge on anyone in this house. I don't dare go anywhere, and I rarely come into this old house myself. The old woman turned and looked at me, especially at night. After Mother died, things quietened down for a while. Then he started haunting me. I couldn't take the screaming and the awful things that went on in this house. So I locked the doors. I brought a trailer, and that's where I live now, next door. I can never turn off the lights in my trailer. If I do, he comes with the darkness. My father was a terrible man. Evil, some say. This is what I was told. He's still here in his house. If you go upstairs, you can feel a dark spirit, his spirit. If you stay in this house too long, he'll attack you. He's attacked others before. Before I moved out, people were scratched and pushed by some invisible force. Some were pushed down these stairs. I knew it was him. Although he's dead, he still protects his house. He'll never let it go. As long as that light burns in the window and no one goes up these stairs, it's not that bad. However, some nights you can still hear his screams, the screams of a dying man being murdered by his wife and son. She walked toward the kitchen. We've been here too long and we must go. She took a deep breath. You see, in some way, this house has attached itself to me. It's my prison. Why don't you leave? I asked. I've tried, but if I leave the boundaries of this property, my father comes with me, and he torments me until I return. He can be violent and hurtful. That lamp is the only thing that keeps him at bay. It seems to comfort him as long as it burns and the house remains empty. I can't go anywhere. This house is my curse, a curse my mother and brother gave me. I hope you enjoyed this story. This story is about me and my brother. People say you can still go by this house and hear the screaming. 30 years later, I went by there once more. It still sits empty. Thank you for visiting Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. If you would, please subscribe and give this story a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. As always, thank you for visiting my channel.